Xabi Alonso has done what seemed to be impossible, pushing the Bavarians off the throne of German top flight and breaking Bayern's more than a decade-long run of winning the trophy. In the Bundesliga, for years, it was believed that the dominance of Bayern München was unsurmountable. With the Bavarians winning the trophy in each of the last 11 years, this notion only grew stronger. It only took an iconic Dortmund side led by Jurgen Klopp, which also had the likes of Robert Lewandowski and Ilkay Gundogan, that overcame Bayern back in the 2011 to 2012 season. But despite all this, Alonso's Leverkusen has made us believe that winning the Bundesliga is not that difficult. Behind Alonso's success lies a prudent transfer strategy, tactics that take inspiration from his former managers as well as contemporaries, and a deep understanding of the game. All this, when combined with ruthless efficiency, truly makes the sport appear trivial. Under Xabi, Leverkusen usually stays in a 3-4-2-1 shape. With the wingbacks occupying the wider positions, the focus is on retaining possession of the ball in order to be in charge of the tempo of the game. The build-up has been crafted and practiced to a degree that it almost appears formulaic at times. When the opposition has a centre-heavy press, the ball is given to one of the wide centre-backs, who can then simply pass it towards the wing-back. Meanwhile, one of the attacking midfielders come towards the touchlines along with another from the pivot. This creates multiple easy passing opportunities for the team and also an overload in the wide spaces. In other instances, if the wingbacks are pushed up and the passing options to Xhaka and Palacio are covered, the attacking midfielders drop a bit from the half spaces to play a wall pass to one of the two, relieving pressure on the team. The idea is to consistently get the ball to the midfielders while rarely making errors. Once the ball is received by the duo in the pivot, one of them can move up with the ball while the other stays behind, adding a certain degree of verticality in the midfield. Grimaldo sometimes tucks in to provide an extra passing option in midfield, shifting the formation to a 3-2-1-4 of sorts, with Frimpong being the extra man up front, thus creating a solid attack for Leverkusen. The role played by Alejandro Grimaldo, as mentioned earlier, is crucial in such setups. The Spaniard is incredibly versatile and can thrive anywhere on the left side of the pitch. He can switch positions with Wirtz as well as Palacios to keep the opponents guessing. Grimaldo has contributed 9 goals and it shows in the statistics as well. Other chess pieces orchestrated by Xabi include Victor Boniface, Florian Wirtz and Hoffmann up front, who usually form a narrow front three. Boniface has racked 10 goals and 7 assists already, while Wirtz has been on a different level altogether. His rise comes at a time when football and tactics are hinting at the resurgence of the number 10 position. The 20-year-old is one of the leading players in that role and leads the metrics for passes into the penalty area as well as successful dribbles per 90 in the Bundesliga. It's frightening how much he has improved since his ligament injury that put him on the sidelines for at least 9 months. Today, his importance is undeniable to Xabi's side. Behind the front three is the duo of Granit Xhaka, who arrived from Arsenal at the beginning of the season, and Ezequiel Palacios. Xhaka acts as a vital link between attack and defense, contributes in transitions, and adds a much-needed composure in this young Leverkusen side. He also has his range of passing, though Leverkusen usually prefers building up with short passes. On the other hand, Palacios has a much stronger defensive flair. For the wingbacks, Leverkusen has the luxury of having both Alex Grimaldo, whose brilliance we already touched upon, and Jeremy Frimpong on the right with his blistering pace. They not only add width to Xabi's team but also act as inverted fullbacks by pushing in at times, forming a midfield four. The 23-year-old Jeremy Frimpong already has his name being listed among the best right backs in the world, thanks to his pace and his ability to successfully carry the ball, and this has been consistent over the past couple of seasons. Xabi's tactics aim to maintain proximity between the players rather than clinging to a pre-assigned position-based paradigm, similar to relationism of Fluminense head coach Fernando Diniz. Alonso's philosophy has allowed Leverkusen to be the team with the most passes completed this season, and they have scored 61 goals, while conceding just 16 in 24 matches, the lowest in the league. In defense, the back three usually consists of Edmond Absabo, Jonathan Tah, and Adelon Casono. All three of the centre-backs are defensively sound, stand taller than 190 centimeters, and have good communication between them, making a solid wall that stands ahead of Hideki's goalposts. Jonathan Tah is the only undisputed starter in the back three, as Xabi likes to rotate the defense with Hincapie and Stanisic coming in depending on the opposition. Leverkusen also boast the most amount of touches in the midfield and the attacking third, but are at the bottom for touches inside the penalty area and also rank low for touches in the defensive third. This is definitely intentional. As mentioned earlier, Xabi puts much emphasis in minimizing the time the ball remains in and around Leverkusen's penalty box to reduce the scope for fatal defensive errors. When possession is lost, Leverkusen often take a very proactive approach in their defense, with the midfielders immediately putting pressure to retrieve the ball back. The narrow front three makes it easy to apply pressure on the opposition as passing lanes are congested even before the press starts. Usually initiated by Boniface and joined by attacking midfielders and wingbacks, the idea is to either recover the ball in the attacking third of the pitch or force a long pass, which can be recovered by the centre-backs. The team's pressing is at its strongest when they are in the lead, when the momentum of the game is in their favour. A high line is maintained behind the press to further choke the opponent attack, limiting both space and time on the ball. Even if the recovery is not successful, the high line allows its centre-backs plenty of time to recover. The gegenpressing is similar to the style that has become synonymous with Klopp's Dortmund and Liverpool. But it must be highlighted here that Leverkusen do not press that often. It is just that when they do, they are extremely effective at it and usually win the ball back. They shift to a back 4 or 5 in the defensive phase, with one or both of the wingbacks joining the defense. In this, the whole team defends as a unit, with positional play being a key aspect, unlike the attack where relationism was the key. The block remains narrow in order to limit opposition attacks, and all this makes for a compact defense. Xabi has highlighted multiple times how he has put in considerable effort to understand each of the players he has at his disposal. This is especially evident in his signings. Both Grimaldo and Boniface have arrived in 2023 and have been instant hits. Similarly, the signing of Granit Xhaka is another prudent one. With 4 years of Bundesliga experience already from his Mönchengladbach days and then another 7 years of Premier League at Arsenal, his arrival at Leverkusen has added maturity in the squad. Leverkusen last won a trophy in the 1992-93 season when they lifted the German Cup. And although they have been fluctuating within the top 6 of the Bundesliga in recent years, they have never won the competition in their history. Fast forward to today, and Leverkusen are well set to break Bavarian hearts with their impeccable run this season. And while it is true that Bayern München are undergoing a transition of their own, Leverkusen's success is not because Bayern has been lacking. In fact, the tally of Tuchel's side so far is the highest ever for a team finishing second in the Bundesliga. The main man up front, former Tottenham player Harry Kane, has racked 22 goals, matching Lewandowski's 2020-21 record for the most goals in the opening half of a season. But despite his and the rest of Tuchel's men's best efforts, Bayern stands second. Consider subscribing if you think I am
handsome,